But will you be the one, even in fear, to be strong enough to say, you know what, I deserve better. I deserve more. And even though I'm scared, even though I don't know what's on the other side, even though I'm unsure of the unknown, I'm still going to free myself. Because ultimately, when I free myself, it's better than what I came from. I got to put out stuff to make sure people know who I am, right? If people do not know who you are and what you do, they will never value you. You got to make sure you put out everything that you have so people can value you. So what I want to bring to the table is this today. You see on my shirt, can y'all read that? What does that say? FREEME. One more time, what does that say?
FREEME.
Yes, add that hashtag in there. That's very important, right? Instagram, hashtag it, Twitter it, whatever, hashtag. You hashtag FREEME, you will see a lot of videos and pictures of me. Not only me, but you'll see my wife, you'll see my daughter as well, right? This is important to me because I came up in a situation from Richmond, Virginia, where I lived in different locations that weren't necessarily classified as the best. I came up in a place, first of all, living in Southside, then going from Southside, living with my grandmother, to living with my aunt, to living with my other aunt, to watching my uncle go to prison, to watching my granny pass away, to going back to my grandmother's house, to living with my aunt again, to then living in Fairfield Court Projects when I finally got my own room again. I only had my own room in my life as a child for like 4 or 5 years. And when I actually got the opportunity to have my own room, right, it feels so good, it was in Fairfield Court. And if you're from Richmond, you understand that most places with a court behind the name is not necessarily the place you want to go to after hours. Because they pitch it to you like, if you go over there, it's not the best place for you, you're not safe. Anytime you can go to a place and hear gunshots and you make it normal for you and you don't react a certain way, then what do I say? I got to a point where I lived there for 5 years. I moved there my 8th grade year, and I knew when I went there, I was a city kid. And as a city kid, I understood, don't go to city schools. And the reason why, because the city doesn't treat you the same way as the county does as far as your academic rigor. I could have went to Armstrong High School, no disrespect, and did C- work and got a 4.0 because I know how to smile and introduce myself. I went to the county because I understood that, hey, man, if I value myself, I know I need to go to a place that's going to stretch me a bit more. So I used to catch the bus downtown to catch the bus to Chamberlain Avenue to actually walk to Henrico High School for 2 years until I got my own car. Every morning, I'm waking up with kids that's going to Armstrong. I literally live not even a mile, not even a half a mile. I live so close to Armstrong High School. If I step out my door and did like this and hit my morning stretch and look to the left, Armstrong was right there. Right there. Right off Cool Lane. I was on 25th Street in Falk. Second apartment in Fairfield Court Projects. Where here and there, you'll hear gunshots and we got so normal. It got so normal to us, I used to tell my little sister, just don't go by the window. And it's funny, no, for real. It got to that point. It was like, oh, they shooting. Oh, yeah, y'all good. It's not coming this way. I was on a basketball court. We would shoot basketball. We heard gunshots. We looked at each other. Y'all good? Yeah, we good. Keep shooting. It got normal. So I tell y'all this to get y'all to understand where I come from. Some of the things that I experienced. So yeah, I decided not to go to city schools. I went to the county. I went to Henrico High School. I was a decent student. I was a 2.8 student. I was one of the ones that, I would never get in trouble. I had a good character, good, charismatic, enthusiastic. People liked me for my character. But I didn't necessarily give my all because I always would think about all these different things. What's going on with my mom? My father is not here. We live in Fairfield Court. She got to work at night. Will she be safe when she come home? She catching the bus. What my little sister doing? How my grandmother doing? Because she got all these different diseases, diabetes, glaucoma, she halfway disabled. So many things going on in my life, right? So I had all these experiences happening to me right here, right now in high school, right? And the thing about it is my outlet was football. So as she mentioned, I was a student athlete at the University of Charleston, but at Henrico, I played every position necessary because I understood that, hey, in order to get out of my circumstances, I need to show people that I'm versatile enough to do different things. So what I learned playing football is that, hey, I can present myself in a way because I'm good at it, that whatever this is that I'm good at, it's going to lead me to some form of success. Because I'm going to take this one thing, I'm going to make it explode until I'm out of here. And what happened was I started getting looks, and I got D1 looks, Virginia Tech, VMI, Norfolk State, William & Mary, University of Richmond. I'm like, by my junior year, I'm like, woo-hoo, I'm out. I ain't never coming back. I won't see center block walls again. By my senior year, first game, had an interception, ran it back, 60-yard touchdown. I'm like, in my mind, this is like first quarter. I'm already like, oh my gosh, I'm out of here. All I got to do is finish and get on the road the rest of the year, get my 2.8 up to a 3.0, and that's when things shift. November 9th, I turned 18, 2009. November 21st, 2009, my mother passed away. 12 days after my 18th birthday. Believe me, when I say I was hit, I was hit. Because everything I thought I was began to crumble right before my eyes. My mother was my main support. And my relationship with my mama was crazy because like it didn't mean like we always talked, right? But we had an understanding of each other. I can walk to my mother's room. She's watching TV. I come in. I touch her foot because she was ticklish. She look at me. I smile at her. I go back, go in my room, play the game a little bit. And that was our communication. But we had a connection. I knew if for anything I could depend on my mom. And then, mom's gone. I'm thinking, all right, okay. What do I do now? I got to keep going. I was 18 taking my little sister who also started going to county schools. I would take her to school, and then I would go to high school. And then I would go to work after the football season. And I didn't have anybody to help me get into college, so I was doing it all myself. I was taking trips. I was going to colleges. I was sending out all my information I should just send out. I was sending it anyway, just so I can get the look and the opportunity. When it came down to it, all the schools that I had one offer to St. Paul's College at the end of this football season. William & Mary said, your GPA is too low, we can't get you in. I said, what do you mean? They said, get honor roll the rest of the year, you can make it happen. I had an honor roll the whole year. My 2.8 turned into what? A 2.8. Didn't move. Didn't move at all. My GPA didn't budge. So by this time, my father's incarcerated for child support. My mother is passed. And I'm just out here in Fairfield Court trying to take care of my grandmother and my sister. So I tell y'all all this because I've been through so much, y'all. And it was so stifling in my life for everything to hit me the way it did. But it didn't stop. I was in a relationship from my 7th grade year until my freshman year in college. Right in that same time my mom passed, a couple months ago, my relationship was over too because I left. And I went to school instead of staying home. I had to make a lot of decisions in this midst of, do I value myself enough to keep going? Or will I follow circumstances to my situation? Do I believe in myself and trust in myself even with my fear to keep going? Or will I follow circumstance to my situation? I'm going to say it again. Do I believe in myself enough to keep going? Or I'm going to follow circumstance to my situation? I put FREEME on the shirt because I understand with myself, I had to free myself from a lot of things that happened to me in my environment. A lot of things that happened to me that I had no control of. I had no control of my father not necessarily being in my life. He took his time, he was with me, and then he bunked out. I don't have control over that. But I couldn't sit here and move forward until I accepted what it was and decided to face it, look at it, say, okay, that hurt, that makes me hurt, that makes me cry. And once I did that, I moved. My mother died, something I still struggle with. But one of the things I had to realize is that I don't die with my mother. I live for her. So with that being said, I face it, I see it, I lock in on it, and I decide, okay, Mom, you gone. You had to deal with self-doubt. You had to deal with just problems of you thinking that you weren't special. You was insecure. Bet. I put money on. I'm going to make sure I live my life to a quality that wherever you are right now, you're going to feel it, and I'm going to live for you. I make that decision, I face it, and I move forward. Things don't stop. I get injured. In football, I move forward. My best friend, one of my best friends on the football field, died of a drug overdose at the age of 23. I move forward. I say this to y'all because we all have something that we've been through. No matter what side of the tracks, the side of the road, you was on the west end, east end, north side, south side, Goochland, wherever you come from, New York, down south, west side, it doesn't matter. Wherever you come from, wherever you at, all of us had some type of struggle and pain that we had to go through. But at the end of the day, it's on you to make a decision. Do you move forward from it? Free yourself from the things that hinder you. Free yourself, because I can't do it. Your peers can't do it. Your parents can't do it. Your staff can't do it. The only person that can free you is you. The only one that knows exactly what you're going through is you. The only one that understands and feels that pain every time certain things happen and when you trigger, right? And like, just no loud noise, no show of hands, but I just want y'all to think about this. How many of y'all as students ever been triggered by a staff member because they said the wrong thing to you? They said you was just like, you know what? That's it for the day. You about to feel it. I'm gonna go ahead and solve it right now. I'm about to lay hands on you. Come here. I say this because ultimately, anytime we have these impulse reactions, it's because we not willing to deal with something that's going on within us. That's all that stems from. But will you be the one, even in fear, to be strong enough to say, you know what, I deserve better. I deserve more. And even though I'm scared, even though I don't know what's on the other side, even though I'm unsure of the unknown, I'm still going to free myself. Because ultimately, when I free myself, it's better than what I came from. So this is what I want to do because I know my time is short. Good, I got like 4 minutes. Get a look. I got like 10 minutes, right? Nah, I can't. All right. This is what I want to do because I really want for everyone to leave here with something. Because motivation wears off, y'all. Y'all can go outside and your tire be slitting. You like, you know what? Somebody is going to get it today. I don't know what happened. And you could be inspired when you was in here. You was like, hey, I got the world on my hands. I can do everything. Tire slit. You like, ah! Right? Motivation wear off. That's why I don't do the motivation thing. Right? I've been through too much to be like, you know what? I'm just super motivated. No. I just understand that I got power within me. I free myself from anything that come my way. Starting with my thoughts. Because ultimately what I think is what I will be. I'm telling y'all, what I think is what I will be. My athletes. How many times have y'all ever went into a game thinking y'all gonna lose and then what happened? Lose. Big L. It's done. How many of y'all ever took a test thinking that you're gonna bomb it and then you end up failing it? It's whatever you think. Generally, you put so much energy to what you think, it will come true. How many of y'all ever took a test thinking, man, you know what? I'm gonna knock this test out. You was confident, and then when you got the test back, you got a test score, and you was like even amazed at how well you did.
Not me.
Not you. We gotta work on that. It definitely takes work, right? But ultimately,
I think I'm gonna bomb it and I get a 60.
See, that's not a bomb. That's not necessarily a bomb.
I think I'm gonna bomb it. The next thing I know, I get a 10.
Okay, all right now. We'll have to discuss that after the presentation. I've been there before. I had a test. I was like, you know what, Timone, I think I'm gonna fail. But me thinking that I'm all like put together, I'm like, you know what? I got it. I won't fail because I think positively. I already put it in my mind that I was gonna fail earlier.
Just don't get cocky.
So I didn't. I was like, you know what? You're gonna fail. I was like, no, let me stop telling myself that. So I'm like circling the room. And then I came back and was like, all right, I got to the test and I looked at the answers and everything just like, it went, Oh yeah, I'm done. I passed it in. He was like, okay. Came back the next week. I had a 53. I was like, yep. That's about all I got, right? The thing about putting it into your mind what you can do, and also you have to lead with action as well. So just because you think it doesn't mean it just comes to you. What are you going to do on a daily basis to make it happen? A lot of us got to be free from something. I'm okay with showing my vulnerability so y'all can know when and where I had to go through. And it's hard for me. So if anybody, you don't have to, but if anybody wants to move forward and free themselves from something, I purposely put note cards at the middle of the table and pens. If you feel like you need to be free from something, grab a note card, grab a pen, and we're going to write it out. This is the last thing we're going to do. Only the ones that really need to be free from something. This isn't from everybody, right? And what I want you to do on the blank side is write, free me from, right? Free me from. And what I'm going to do is give you some examples of what I had to free myself from so you can confidently free yourself from. All right? We don't want to make anything complex because honestly, when you're confident, right? See, they make it seem like confidence and believing yourself is something complex. They make it seem like it's hard, right? Because society always showing you certain things. Hey, that person got a nice phone. That person got nice clothes. That person got the nice car. They live in a nice house. They got everything nice, right? Society makes you think like you're just not good enough in many cases. But the truth is, if we weren't here, society wouldn't exist. Where you're sitting at right now wouldn't exist if somebody didn't first have a thought to create that chair. That table wouldn't be here, that food wouldn't be set up, this actual engagement wouldn't happen if somebody didn't first have the thought. So what you have is the power to create your reality, but we've been taught that we got to have certain things in our lives to be important when we don't. All you need is you. And put around you the people that encourages you. Yes. You are. You are. You are. Yes. Yes. You are. And it doesn't take, it takes her to witness that and say that to herself for her to believe it. And that's a phenomenal job. Because you don't need no one else in this room to tell you that. You tell yourself that every day and move and believe in that. No matter who doubts you, you move in your specialness. You move in your greatness. And guess what? When you move in yours, everybody else is either going to move away from you or attract to you. The ones that move away from you, don't fight to get them to come back. Let them go. The ones that come towards you, protect yourself. Because everybody likes greatness. It's like a light. And sometimes flies come to the light. And you don't like flies on your food, right? Something to think about. All right, nonetheless. So on the back, y'all, whoever's doing it, y'all already got free me from, right? All right. Now I want you to flip it over to the line side, right? And I want you to identify some things that you need to be free from. Boom. Is that my timer? Oh, that is your phone. Rude. No, I'm just joking. On the back, I want y'all to write a few things y'all need to be free from. So this is what I'm going to do. I believe, for me, that vulnerability is strength. I think if I could be transparent in what I'm going through, then I can help somebody else do the same. Now, everybody believe that, so that's why we're writing it down. But I'm going to tell y'all what I got to be free from so y'all can write y'all's freely, all right? So for me, one of the first things I have to be free from is self-doubt. I doubt myself a lot. I come up to you speaking right now confidently, but guess what? It takes a lot of mental preparation for me to come up here and do this. Like, it takes me a whole week, 2 weeks, like, all right, we got a presentation when? Okay, cool. All right, I'm processing it in my mind for those 2 weeks just to get me prepared because I got so much self-doubt, y'all, that I would wake up in the morning and just be like, I'd be so excited, like, oh, I'm about to take over the world. But then as soon as I say I'm going to take over the world, it'd be a thought that come in like, you sure? You sure you got it? You really think you can do it? And every time I feed that thought, it get worse. It get deeper. Just like I used to be on the football field. And this is no pat on my back, man. I'm telling you, dog, if I actually would have tapped into how great I am, I probably would have been the best thing coming out of Richmond in 2010. But I had so much doubt in me, man, that I would sit here and make up stuff in my head that it'll stop me from actually pushing forward and being as great as I am. And so what I realized is that when I looked at my parents and I started looking at my ancestors, I started realizing that a lot of them was doubtful too. My mother thought that she'll never equate to anything. She wrote it down. And when you write it, it makes it very visual and serious. She wrote it in the notebook. My father has the most talent in the world. You could put him in this room and he can fix anything in this room and then go fix your car and then go paint everything. And then, like, he's just that awesome, right? But he doesn't believe in himself. So I started to recognize that my self-doubt went deeper than just me, but went to the people that came before me. So what I had to do first for me is free myself from self-doubt. So I write that down, right? The next thing I got to free myself from, which actually equates to self-doubt too, is financial struggles. A lack of understanding finances can put you in a place where you just think that you're obsolete. And really, I'm not even going to say finances. I'm going to make it more personal. Poverty, mindset. When you pour down and out, and you got a mindset like that, it ain't the neighborhood that you in, it's the mindset. And when you come from a place that's a struggle, it's your mindset that got to change, not the neighborhood. Don't get me wrong, you don't want to be in that environment, but you got to change your mind. So the poverty mindset is the next thing I got to free myself from, right? Another thing I got to free myself from. Another thing I got to free myself from is that sometimes I can think big, but then I'll go back to being small. I have the ability to speak so well that I know for a fact that if I continue to do what I'm doing and connect with people, I won't just be on the East Coast. But I know with that power comes a lot of attention. And for that fact, then I got to free myself from the fear that comes with the power that's in me. See, some of us are actually fear success. So I have to free myself from the fear of success. Because ultimately, if I'm not as successful as I'm supposed to be, then my wife and my daughter doesn't benefit. How can I teach my daughter how to do something when she watches me and then I'm not doing it? Like my father used to tell me, don't drink as he sipped from the bottle. Right? That's not the type of teacher I am. I teach by showing. Right? So freeing myself from that financial mindset, poverty, and then freeing myself from the fear of success. Right? And the last thing I'm going to say is free myself from judgment and addiction. The reason why I say judgment and addiction, right? I say judgment because it's this thing, right? In this world that you're going to fear that you're going to get judged by people. Because they don't look like you. Because they don't come from where you come from. Because they may not understand how you dress. Because they may not understand how your hair is. Because they don't understand what you had to go through. Like, don't get me wrong, everybody got pain, y'all. Everybody got to go through something. We ain't got time to be sitting here thinking about who judging us. Because the more energy we get at somebody judging us, the more we take away from ourselves. And you got to recognize your power. And last but not least, I say addiction. And I don't say that just because one of my good friends passed away from an opioid addiction. I say that because addiction comes in many forms. I say that because drugs in itself, appeal is not the only addiction. Some people are addicted to games. Some people are addicted to food. It's something that we all have that we are addicted to. So for myself, I say free myself from any addictions that I may have that keep me from actually moving forward and being as dominant as I can be. Yes?
What if one of the addictions in life just doesn't really have a problem? Like, say, running. Like, some people are addicted to running because the runner's
high. So what was said is, what if you're addicted to something positive? And that's fine, because that's one of the strategies that's used. If I'm addicted to something that's negative in my life, I then begin to put myself into something else that's constructive and alter that addiction. And that positive is going to outweigh the negative. But I got to keep doing it until that negative is consumed. Right? So that's just one of the ways to do it. But nonetheless, for everyone that has something on the card, right? Everybody that has something, this is the last thing we're doing. What I want y'all to do, if we can, is I want you to take your card. I want you to fold it 3 or 4 times, right? Whatever you got on it could be one thing, it could be numerous things. And I want you to come up here with me, and we're going to throw it in the trash. If that's fine, that's okay? Can they come up? Yeah, come on. Come on. Just throw it in the trash. Time to let it go. Let's go. Oh, I like the shot. Oh, Kobe with the shot. Steph. Oh, wait a minute. Somebody missed. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. go. Good job, good job, good job. Hey, can we give these group of individuals a round of applause again, please? All right, y'all. For those that did not necessarily get up, you may be able to calculate in your mind what you need to free yourself from, so do it. Last but not least, understand that your power is within you. No one else dictates your power but yourself. If you have to continuously do this, then you do. Because guess what? Being that you just threw something away, it's going to be a test that comes to you as soon as you walk out these doors to try to get you to go back to what you thought you were. You are what you think. So begin to practice that. You set it in your mind and you tell yourself that 3 times a day, and you will begin to see your reality change. My name again is Timone Brown. I thank you for your time, and let's have a great day.